everyone, welcome to the farm. Today I wanted to give you a barn update. So I know I haven't been on YouTube much, but if you've been following along on Instagram, you have seen that we have taken a 2-stall barn with a small tack room and turned it into a 5-stall long shed row style barn with a tack room and now a separate feed room. So I wanted to show you where we're at. We are not quite done yet. We're probably, what, 75% of the way there? Yeah, maybe 75% of the way there. And so now we're kind of working on finishing touches like tack room and stuff like that. So let me just give you a little tour of what we got going on here. I will put a picture up of what this thing looked like when we first started. We actually built that first one too. My husband built it, and you know, and it worked out for a little while until we decided to expand and get more horses, because you always have to get more horses. So, we did not really have, we went from the plans that we originally had, and we just kind of expanded on that, and then we kind of talked with a builder a little bit about how to do the awning. So here in Southern Virginia, there's really not a need for a fully enclosed barn, we feel like, because we just don't get that kind of weather, you know, deep snow. We do have a lot of rainy days down here, and you know, we do get some ice and snow like that, but it's nothing that would keep us from, you know, coming down to the barn and having this work for us. So we actually have installed a driveway over here, and we have split off of our driveway up there and have come down. This part that you see here in grass, we were originally going to do that in gravel, and I think we are still going to put it in gravel because there is still so much mud that gets up here. I'm going to have to invest in a really good pressure washer to keep down here, because this concrete is already orange as the rest of my concrete on this farm, just because of all the mud. But so I think we're going to still put this in gravel right here and bring it right up to the barn. I think that will cut down on the mud and just be a lot better for winter and stuff like that. So we have added an awning here, and that will keep out the elements and things like that. This is actually what, south facing that we're facing, so it's actually probably at least 10 degrees warmer down here at this barn than it is anywhere else on the farm. And in the summertime, that was worse because it was 10 degrees hotter down here. But now that we have this awning, I think it will keep it a lot cooler. And as far as wintertime goes, I mean, out there it's freezing. I've actually got my jacket off down here, and it's typically what has happened recently because it blocks the wind. So I think having it face the correct way, I think if it had to be facing the other way, it'd be a little different with that wind. It kind of comes down off the road. So sitting right here, it's kind of blocked, and it keeps it a little bit warmer. And so we, well, let me show you what we got going on here. We ordered these stall kits. We've got 5 stalls. We only currently have 4 horses, and I will introduce those to you here in just a little bit when we bring them in for feeding time. And so we ordered the stall kits from Stallworks here in Virginia, and they were fantastic to work with. So we went with the 36-inch bars, and we did the feed openings. They have the really cool little like locks for the stalls. So they don't have any handles on the doors or anything like that. I'm assuming we can do that, but these things, they just kind of flip down, and so as you go to open them, you press it up, and then when you close it, it locks. Most of them fall. This one actually doesn't. We need to like WD-40 this one or something. But they fall down, and it latches themselves. And so, of course, we've got their names on it and their little horse head hooks here. And the cool thing is that I love is that one of these horse head hooks is like probably over 25 years old. It came from my barn when I was a little girl growing up, and these are from Stateline Tack, and they actually still had them. So we had ordered 2 for the last barn that we had built before we added on, and lucky enough, they still had it, and I bought 3 more to kind of finish off this barn. So we got the 36-inch bars with the feed openings, and then we decided, let's go down here, we'll look at AJ's stall, and I'll show you, because we don't have everything quite done here yet. We don't have the mats or anything in here yet, but his does. And so there's 3 stalls, if you want to look down that way. there's 3 stalls down here. The last one we're using for storage right now. And then, so we've got 3 stalls down here. This is the feed room, and check out what we finally got in the back of the feed room. So this was the original tack room that we had. Do you see what we have? Power! We are so excited about this, especially as the days end at like 4 o'clock, you know, it gets dark. So we will have electrical all through the barn, outlets and lights out there, lights in here. We're currently just using the Milwaukee battery powered light in here, which actually has worked really great. It's just like a big flashlight, and so it's been really helpful. But I'm super excited for this, to have lights everywhere and outlets everywhere out here. But this was the feed room and tack room. So this is the original. This will only be feed and hay storage. We have a bigger hay storage somewhere else here on the farm, and then we bring over what we need for the week or two and put it on there. So you can see we did tongue and groove on all of the stall doors here, and that went together pretty good, except for the wood was wet when we put it all together, so it made it a little bit more difficult because we're impatient, or me, I'm impatient, and I want to have it done. But anyways, it still worked out, and so now it's starting to dry out. It's going to be really neat when we have it all stained and painted. But this was the original tack room, and we had the T111 up here, and the problem is we cannot get any more tongue and groove. So it's an issue. You have to do like a huge bulk order, and the reason we got it the first time was because they had it in stock, and now they don't keep it in stock. So we have to order like 3 times the amount we originally did. So we're freaking out a little bit about what we're going to do here. We may do some board bat, and I'll show you the siding that we decided to do. So we may end up doing that here. Maybe we can do the 1-inch tongue and groove out here. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. So this right here is this is going to be the full-size tack room. This is a 12 by 12. It will have a door that matches like that too. And of course, whatever we decide to do, tongue and groove will come across there. And then in here, we hope to build tack lockers against the back wall. Everybody has their own little tack locker for their saddles, saddle pads, helmet covers, all the things that you need to have when you ride horses, right? And then so all the tack in here, love that it's not with the hay because it will stay a lot less dustier. So then we've got AJ stall. This is our only gelding here on the farm, and he is my favorite. He is amazing. But this is Applejack stall. So we'll show you what we're kind of going to do with the stalls. Of course, it's not closed up here yet. We're going to do the tack room. That's next on the list, right, honey? Yes. Next on the list is the tack room to get that done. So we've installed the mats, the rubber mats on the ground. We were going to do some stone dust, which this does need a little bit of work because it kind of dips right here. We just have the clay underneath of here. We put his in, just kind of getting it going because he's a boy and he pees like, I feel like it's all night long he pees. And this stall needs like a full clean out of these shavings every single morning, and he tracks through it and it gets everywhere. So his stall is always a mess. But it was starting to smell like urine, so we needed to do something for at least his stall because it was so bad. So we went ahead and put down the mats and put shavings in here. These are shavings, not sawdust. We need to find some sawdust from somewhere. But anyways, so we kind of just pile it up towards the back to give them a little bit of a bed. We went with hay nets, like these, rather than the hay racks, the metal ones, because I felt like this kind of slows them down a little bit with him being younger, and it's less waste on the ground. It slows him down a little bit more and will make that hay last a lot longer. He has like no waste of hay, but so we decided to go with these, and these are from Smartpak, and they were a really good price, and they seem to be doing the job so far. So I just said, you know what, let's try it. If we want to switch to the metal racks later, we can always do that. So here we have these all boarded up, but these are going to be Dutch doors along the back side. I'll take you out back towards the end, and I'll show you our plan for out there. But for right now, we just have them boarded off so they can't get out of their stalls. And but these will be Dutch doors, so we can either open the top and they just have a window, or they can have full access to what's going to be back here. And then they've got the metal dividers that we put in. These are also, this were kits that we got from the Stallworks company. And of course the wood doesn't come with it. You got to buy the wood separately. But all the bars and the tracks on the ends there, those all came from Stallworks. And then so we've got the corner buckets, and then of course the water buckets. And then Hershey's stall, my old girl, she's on the end over here. We've got 3 sets of cross ties that we put up here. And of course, my 6-year-old halflinger has already broken a pair. And so we had to replace those already. But we've got 3 sets of cross ties here. And let's come down here and I'll show you our little wash area. We decided to go with an open barn. One, I told you, because of the weather down here. It's just not necessary to have a full-size barn, but also because of the price. We priced out a full barn, and you know, the prices were just outrageous. And then from some people, we couldn't even get get them to come out here to quote, just because everybody was so busy. And so ultimately, that kind of led us to just saying, okay, and my husband, he's gotten a lot better at building stuff, but he has no background in building stuff, and he's done a really, really great job. Him and my dad have been working on this barn. And, you know, you just do it piece by piece, little by little. Google what you don't know and have a plan to follow. I think that's probably the biggest part. Some of the things that have challenged him are the things where we didn't really have a plan for it. Something to follow. He says it's kind of like Legos. Like if you got a plan for it and you know what size and where to put it, what to do, it's kind of like, okay. So so that's one of the reasons that we went with this shed style barn, because, you know, just the price. The price that those full-size barns are for no more of the space is, it was just, to me, I couldn't pay that. I couldn't pay that amount to have a barn like that. So, and I think this is much prettier. Wait till you see what I have planned to do out of the front with some flower pots and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be gorgeous. Okay, so here we've done board and batten siding on this. Let me tell you what. Finding wood right now, and the price of wood is insane. Of course, we all know that, but it has come down a little bit from when we did a section of our fence up there. But the board and batten, we had a hard time finding it. The boards, we actually went with panels here. And what size were these panels?
4x8.
4x8s, and then so they cut the top pieces, and then these, and then these were what, what were these?
They were 1x6s.
1x6s, and he had to end up cutting them down because we could not find the right things to do, so we just had to kind of improvise. And so 1x6s he took and he stripped them down the center to turn them into 2 boards, obviously. And these became our furring strips. These are nailed in with just a finishing nail gun. This went up with just the regular nail gun, right? Regular nails, is that what we call it?
Framing nailer.
What? Framing nailer. Framing nailer. And so, so that's how we did that. It's just the sheets. And I think it looks really great. This is what I originally wanted to do, and then we kind of threw back some other ideas. And, you know, it was a little bit more, obviously a lot more than the T111, but it looks so much nicer. I mean, think about how this is going to look with a nice coat of white paint out here. It's going to look amazing. We got water installed here, so that actually came several weeks ago, and that was a huge game changer for down here. Electricity is going to be a game changer, but water, if I had to choose between the two, it would be water, because we were having to go up to the house to fill water buckets and things like that for feed. We water down all of their feed every time we feed them. Some of them, actually 3 of them, are older, and they've all 3 choked before, so we just water everybody's down. So we've got the water out here, and we've got the hose that we can run to all the stalls, and so that's really easy. Over here we set up a little wash stall area. Again, doing a wash stall inside of your barn is another huge cost, so we said, you know what? Why? Let's just do it out here. We set up 2 posts in the ground and some concrete, and I need to get another set of cross ties since my halflinger broke the set in there. I had to take these in there. And so this is where we wash. We just put 2 mats out here, and works out great. We do have this gravel turnaround area here, which still needs a little bit of work. I don't know if you can really see it. We've got a lot of stuff down here at the moment, but it'll be nice when it's all cleaned up and done. So back here, I don't know, should we go to the other side since it's kind of, let's go to the other side and do something. Okay, so here we switch sides so the sun doesn't block the video for you. But so back here we have, you can see all of the openings on all of the stalls. We're going to do individual, probably 12 by 12 foot paddocks out here for each stall, so that our plan is to kind of help with the pasture rotation and stuff like that. You know, it's so cold in the wintertime, so we bring them in at night in the wintertime and let them out during the day. And in the summertime, we bring them in during the day. We plan on having fans going, plugged up for each stall, so they can have the fan, because the humidity here in Southern Virginia is so intense. So having those fans on each of the stalls will be really, really nice for them. So they'll be in during the day, during the summertime. But the best part about that is we can open these doors and they can kind of have like a bigger space. They can come out here. They're not, you know, trapped in a little box stall all day long. They can come out here, see each other. And so we'll just do individual paddocks back here all the way down. And yeah, so they can see each other. It'll be really nice. And then we'll have access, of course, to the electrical box and stuff that are out here. So that is pretty much everything for the barn. I don't know what the dog was doing. He was just something in his mouth. So I think that's it for the barn. We're excited. We're excited to have it done. It's been a huge undertaking, you know, weekend after weekend after weekend, but in the end, it will be worth it to have this space, and the girls just absolutely love it. They love coming down here, and I can't wait to get rid of all the mud that this has caused. I'm so sick of mud on the farm. But I want to introduce you, before we go, I want to introduce you to all of the horses, and we're going to get ready to bring them in to feed here in just a minute. So let's go grab them. This is Hershey. Hershey is a quarter horse, and she is probably 23, 24 years old, and she was one of our first horses here on the farm. We actually just retired her this year, semi-retired her, and she has a sway back, and we've been noticing some, come over here, some pain, you know, especially, where are you going? Come here. Especially, you know, when we were trying to get her to do the pony club things that we need to do, jumping and even cantering and sometimes trotting. We're just noticing some pain with her. So we decided this year she's just kind of a fun horse. We just kind of love on her. We get on her and just bareback and walk and trail ride around the house. She's definitely still good for those things. But she came with Glimmer, the gray horse I'm going to show you. I actually left to go get her. I got her. She came from a girl that had gotten her from kill buyers at the auction, and I went down and she just seemed perfect. And when I left, I grabbed 2 halters for some reason to go get her, and I left thinking I was going to get 1 horse. I told my husband I was going to get 1 horse, and I came home with 2 horses. So I am no longer allowed to go horse shopping by myself. And in fact, when we got our last horse, my husband said, "You're only bringing home 1, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so," because there were definitely 2 or 3 that I was interested in, but it just worked out for him. But she has been wonderful, and she is just the most lovable little horse here. So she's going to be living out the rest of her days here at Rockfish Farm. So let's go get your buddies. You ready to go eat? So this is Glimmer, and she is a gray Arabian, and we think maybe a Welsh cob. We're not sure. She's actually gray. She looks white. You tell a horse's color by the color of their skin when they're gray or white. She's got dark colored skin, so this is actually called a gray. If they are a white color, then their skin is pink. So she is probably maybe 18, 19 years old. She is the one that I picked up with Hershey, and We got her from a farm down in North Carolina. The lady was actually going to put her to sleep if we weren't going to take her home. And that was the moment I wasn't going to get her because I knew what my husband was going to say. But when they told me that, I said, load her up, load her up. So she ended up coming home with us, and she's been a really, really great addition. She is a mare, and she definitely acts like a mare. She is, you know, ears back and all that kind of stuff, but she's worked out really well. She has previously foundered, and so basically she can't have a lot of sugar. She has to have low sugar snacks. She's not on a grain. She's on a like vitamin and mineral pellet, and she has to have limited grass, especially in the spring and the fall when it's really lush and green. So you may see like videos or pictures where she has a grass mask on her face. Just know we are not, you know, being mean to her or that she is mean. It is just the fact that she cannot have that amount of grass because of the sugar content in it. So that's our way to allow her to go out into the field, is to be able to put that on. But having this barn will be a huge game changer for that because then she doesn't like wearing the mask. And some days when it's super hot, I hate putting it on her. And so it'll be really nice this spring and summer to be able to limit her grass to come here. And that's going to be the beauty of those back pastures over there, is that she can still go in and out, but still have, you know, not access to those pastures. She is my daughter Cheyenne's. She is 11 years old, and she has been taking her to Pony Club, and so she is jumping, I think 2 feet 3 inches. I think she could go a little higher too, but she's come a really long way. She is like, you know, she pretends like she doesn't like people. You can see she's being really sweet right now. I think in a few years Cheyenne is going to be outgrowing her, and so we will soon be filling that 5th stall. So next I'll go grab one of these other ones and we'll meet those. All right, this is Holly. She is a Hackney pony, and she is probably about 15 or 16 years old. She is super sweet. We don't ride her very much. I've hopped on her some, and so has my daughters, and she's really sweet. Again, does not get ridden much very often. So she, you know, when you ask her to canter, she's like, no, thank you, and dumps you to the ground. But we hope to work with her a little bit more this year. We do pony rides with her for my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's starting to show an interest in horses. And she has just mellowed out here. When she came, she was spunky. She came with our first horse, the one that my daughters had ridden, had started lessons on, and so she was one of the first horses here on the farm, and she's been a really, really good addition. She's just fun and she's cute, and you can see my daughter, she used to have this long flowing beautiful mane, and my daughter decided one night when it was almost dark to give her a little bit of a haircut, and so I'm ready for that to grow back out because it was, I mean, beautiful. I'm talking down to here, and she can run. She is fast. She is so fast, and she'll play with the dogs. Sometimes they'll run and chase each other, but she's just really good. We usually love on her, and I mean, you can see she's really cute and very loves to be loved on, don't you, girl? Yeah, so she gets lots of attention here, and then hopefully this year my daughter wants to start training her. I've gotten into training. I'll introduce you to the next horse that I've really gotten into training with, and my oldest daughter has gotten into training also, and so she gets in the round pen with Glimmer and is dying to start training and riding this one. So ready to go eat? Yes. And this is Applejack, and I have saved my favorite for last. We just got him this past May, and he is an amazing horse. He has taught me to not overlook 6-year-olds and young horses, because up until this point, you could have never have told me that a 6-year-old horse would be good for a kid. You just never could have told me that. And he has proved otherwise. While he has had some challenges and some things that we have had to work on, you know, he's not fully trained to be ready for Pony Club and stuff like that. He is a super fast learner. So this is Applejack. We call him AJ, and he is a 6-year-old halflinger. And He is for my middle daughter. My oldest daughter, the one that rides the gray pony, she is more like me, where she wants to work with a horse. She will get bored if, what do you do? Take it chill. She will get bored if it's just this perfect little pony, whereas my middle daughter, she wants nothing to do with anything that of an issue. Like, she wants to get on, she wants to have fun, and she loves riding, but she does not want a problem. Right? So I have really gotten into training and natural horsemanship and have really tried to learn some of that stuff, and it has been amazing. He is a super fast learner. He is starting to become a really good jumper, and can really jump. And but he's super smart, and I'm so glad that we got him. We got him from my farm that does trail rides, which in my mind I thought, if they trail ride, they don't spook, like they're put in front of a lot of stuff, and that seems pretty true for him. Being a fast learner, it helps me at learning all of this natural horsemanship training and stuff like that, working with him and seeing that progress. And it kind of helps me learn while I'm training him too. So he's never for sale. He's going to be here with us for a very long time, because he is just one of those horses. They say if you've got a horse with a kind eye, he is being really fidgety right now, but if you've got a horse with a kind eye, like, those are just the best kind, and he is just, I cannot say enough good things about him. He is just so good, aren't you, boy? Thank you for joining me today on this barn update. I'm sure the video got a lot longer than I anticipated it to, but I just wanted to show you where we're at and all the work that we put in. And it's going to be worth it in the end. Weekend after weekend is very, very hard, especially with children. And we could not have done this without my parents, because they come over and my dad helps with building the barn, and my mom helps inside with the kids. And because the girls, they still want to ride, and I still have the 2-year-old, and so we could not have done this without them. So shout out to them, because they have been a big part of this. And but if you are looking to do something like this yourself, I encourage you to do so, because it is a huge money saver. I am not quite done yet adding up the expense of it, but I would say we have saved at least half building it ourselves. And probably with the wood prices being higher, we probably could have saved a little bit more if we had waited. But sometimes you gotta just do it when you need it to be done. And but anyways, we are very thankful, and I'm very happy and proud of my husband and my father for putting in all of the hard work on this barn, because it is a dream come true for my girls and I. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.